Okay. Thank you so much. Two brachas together. So
That's
thank
right.
you so much. We're honored to have with us Sergeant First Class Baitch. Let's get started. Welcome. First of all, this is our weekly Zoom. We have fascinating people doing wonderful things. And we're sure that you are, of course, very, very busy. We really, really appreciate your taking some time, and we will be respectful and not keep you too long. So please, let's get started. Our learning is dedicated to the memory of Bilah Bas Dvorah Abraham. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How long have you been in the military? Just give us a little sense of who you are and what your story is.
Well, first of all, I want to apologize that I was late to this. I was actually in the middle. I got distracted. I'm downloading a new application that we're using with our evac services, but I'll talk about that later.
We forgive you, don't worry.
Yeah, I've been in the Army 17 years. My trade in the Army is reconnaissance and surveillance. I do forward observation for the Army and whatever unit I'm attached to. Right now, I don't do that. I deal with case management for victims of sexual assault for my brigade commander. Something a little bit different, but I've been in 17 years. I've been to Iraq twice, Afghanistan, fought Hezbollah and Iranian Al-Quds in Baghdad in 2008-9. Worked with special forces. I'm not special forces, but I worked with special forces, three-letter agencies, things like that in Baghdad, and did a bunch of reconnaissance and sniper missions with some special people in Afghanistan in 2010-11, and done a lot of training. And I've just kind of been around the block a little bit in the Army. So.
Wow. Okay. Incredible. God bless you. So what prompted you initially, to join the military, make this obviously 17 years? It wasn't just a whim. Can you give us a little bit of that sense? How you transition now?
Ever since I've been a little boy, I can remember wanting to be a soldier. I remember being in a little kid in yeshiva in Dallas. The Gulf War was going on, and I remember the kids coming in from Israel, escaping the Scud missiles as a little kid in preschool. And I remember at Akiva, and I was like, man, being in Texas, I remember seeing on the news, like everyone's going over there to fight Saddam. And I was like, the Jews are running away, the Scud missiles hitting Israel. So I was like, I've always wanted to do something. When I was in yeshiva in Crown Heights, I remember the Intifada was going on. Couple kids in my yeshiva, one of his friends, best friend was killed. And I knew something had to happen. Jenin was happening, 9/11 happened. So I knew something had to be done. So I was just like, when I graduated, instead of going further into to learning, I joined the Army, and I almost joined the IDF, but something made me want to join the US Army. And so I did. And it wasn't easy, but I've survived, and now I have a family, and I got two girls, Bela and Naomi. My daughter every day wants to say, what do I have to do today to make the Beis HaMikdash come back? So I think
Amen.
I'm doing it.
You're doing a wonderful thing.
Yeah, so I've been around. What's that?
So now you've become involved, I understand, in helping, in the situation in Ukraine. Can you give us some insight there? What's going on? What your involvement is like there?
So I got started I'm still in the Army, but I got started originally in when Kabul fell in Afghanistan. And I felt like, something had to be done with them, because they helped, some Afghans helped save my life, and, to return the favor, I think it was a Kiddush Hashem. But then Ukraine happened, and I've been doing that since August. And I knew, Ukraine has the 5th largest Jewish population in the world. I said, I can't go over there and fight the Chechens, but what I'm thinking I can do is help get Jews and other Ukrainians out of Ukraine, because I've learned a special set of skills helping the Afghans and coordinating with people on the ground, intelligence analysts, former special operations. And there's this huge, tight network of people that communicate back and forth. And I said, if there's anything I can do I'm good at, it's networking to get the people that are forgotten out. So that's one thing that we've all been doing. I networked with, so I'm part of an evacuation coalition. It's not really official. It's called UNGN. And it's just a mishmash of human rights activists, veterans, special operations. We got guys that right now, we're using apps that are tracking real-time Russian positions to make sure routes are cleared for evacuation missions. And that's changing every day. We're talking back and forth, running, coordinating. Hey, who needs tourniquets? Who needs medical supplies? Like today, I reached out to Hatsala, some guys on the Moldovan and Romanian border. I'm trying to get tourniquets for the volunteer fighters holding the routes open for the evac crews. So there's just a million things going on at the same time. But one of the blessings that I've seen happen from it is I've tied in with, reaching out to Ukrainian Jews. Hey, I have family in Israel. I have family here. So now they're helping me. So now I have immediate, like, hey, call these numbers, see if they're where they're at. And it's just a network of people that's been pulled together really quickly to help do what has to be done.
Amazing. Can you give us any sense of the numbers that we're talking about? How many Jews are currently trying to get out of Ukraine? How many have gotten out already? A rough estimate?
So I know, and for example, my first focus was Kharkov because I knew Kharkov was one of the first cities on Putin's radar. And I said, Kharkov has a very, very big Jewish community, and they're going to be cut off and isolated very quickly. So I put everyone was focusing on Kiev and because it's the capital, but you have this city of Kharkov, and it just kind of fell into place too, because I had a soldier of mine who is from Kharkov and his family was trapped. So anyways, there were thousands of Jews in Kharkov. We got most of them out with a lot of buses that were coordinated by Jewish organizations, but there were so many Jews that didn't know that there were these forms you had to fill out and were a place to be. My wife and us and our little network, we found hundreds, and we got most of them out on those buses at the last minute. I know.
Where did they go? You say they got them out.
They went to the border. I think they went to Moldova. So my big focus is I get them out of the city where there's getting bombardment. Where the buses take them, either it's to a border, Lviv, at least they're safer than they were before, and you need to go in steps.
Now, when you talk about taking them out for buses, this is, tens of hours of driving. It's not the 2-hour drive.
Right.
And these people are leaving with backpacks or suitcases. I mean, what's the logistics going on there for these people?
So I'm not sure about the big, coordinated ones by the Jewish agencies and Rabbi Bleich, and they've been Chabad have spent $18 million, for example, on buses. But what I tell these when we talk to them is just pack enough. I give them a packing list, enough food to last you 2 days, 3 days if need be. Medical supplies if you have them, spare socks, clothes, cold weather gear, and just one bag. And it's the tragedy of being a refugee is you don't have the luxury to bring your home with you. So I tell them, bring your safarim, bring your documents, bring your family pictures, the things that are important, and leave the rest. And you're going to have to start over. And it's a hard thing to say.
Wow. So these people don't even know if their homes are still standing, if they're ever going to go back to their homes. And
right.
In a matter of a day, they take what they can carry, get on a bus and into a foreign country. And what's waiting for them in Moldavia?
Nothing. Hatsala.
Nothing.
That's about
it. Unbelievable.
That's why that's why I made a group chat where I have rabbis, I have Hatsala people, I have people in Israel helping serve as translators and communicators, because we know America is far away in a 9-hour difference. And we call the group chat Yitzias Ukrainia, because it's just like Yitzias Mitzrayim. You take what's on your back and you go. And but it's a lot of hard work. But what the blessing is, we're tied in with so many good people. You have non-Jews, Jews helping each other. I have a bishop who runs a fundraiser called CEEC, and he has earmarked personally for Jewish Ukraine evac efforts. Wow. So if I need something, for example, let's say I need, for example, my wife Shayna is helping coordinate a rescue for an 84-year-old Jewish woman who can't get out of her house. These funds can come from the bishop was like, hey, these funds are for you. If you need to pay someone for gas in a car, here. Take it. So everyone's helping each other, and it's a wonderful thing.
Wow. So the war, the worst of mankind, and the kindness and the cooperation, the best of mankind. Do you have a few minutes if somebody wants to jump in and ask a question?
Absolutely, Rabbi.
Okay. If anybody wants to unmute themselves and they want to share a question, one question that comes to my mind is, what has it been like in your personal life to suddenly be exposed to this and functioning within the U.S. Army system as a Jew, as a Torah person? Has there been have you encountered any pushback, anything anti-Semitic? Has that been smooth or difficult?
I have never experienced anti-Semitism my entire career.
Wow, that's
As a
beautiful.
matter of fact, I've had nothing but got respect for being who I am in the Army. There was a short time when I first joined the Army and I was young, I was lonely, and I went off to Derech. And the only time in the Army where I wasn't respected, ironically, was when I was that way.
Wow.
You know, it was like they knew I wasn't being myself, and so they would pick on me. But as soon as I went right back to the straight and narrow, it was smooth sailing. And so my wife,
Someone's asking, is your wife also in the military?
no, I found my wife through a shidduch.
She's in the army of Hashem, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. So my wife, I met her in Dallas, Texas, through Rabbi Drizzen,
Sure.
Rabbi Friedman, and, from California, and
Yochanan.
yes,
No, boy.
yeah.
Okay. Is your wife shy to come on for a moment and maybe share some of her experiences? Does she mind? I don't want to put her on the spot.
So my wife, I want to say something. My wife is the one that's doing a lot of the heavy legwork with finding and doing the people talking to
Amazing.
The Jews and the women in Ukraine and Israel. It's the women that are doing a lot of the hard work. I just do the tactical logistics and the coordination with people on the ground.
Unbelievable.
Shannon and the women are the ones that are doing a lot of this work.
Just like you said, you'd see us Ukraine like you'd see us Mitzrayim. It was in the merit of the righteous women that we left Mitzrayim, and the merit of the righteous women that you're able to help all of these people. Amazing. Fantastic. Okay, we'll keep you for another minute or two. I'm sure you have many more important things to do. If somebody wants to jump in and ask a question, please unmute yourself and pipe up. Otherwise, we'll say thank you, Yasher Koach, Godspeed to you. What's the best way that people can help? People are asking me. If everybody is moved, what is the best way? Is it financially? Is it davening? Is it all of the above?
There's several things. Number one, say Tehillim and daven, right? Do your mitzvahs, make your kids do mitzvahs, make Hashem happy to make them happy in us. Number two is communication. Right. I know like a lot of the Chabad, a lot of the other Jewish communities, Jewish Federation, they're all having plans to get people out. What I need help with is getting these bigger guys to talk to us. So once I stay out of their way, but once they're leaving, here's what I need your help with. Like we might have people that aren't tracking, old people that can't get, that's where we can help. Because I don't want to leave, like Shana Talk said to one rabbi, she's like, yeah, we have it. But she said, yeah, but one Jew saved is one more Jew saved. Amazing. So if you save one Jew, you save the world. So Amen. We don't leave anybody behind, and that's our goal. So that unbelievable. Number two, little donation groups like CEEC are very good because it gives the power to the smaller groups who are working with the guys on the ground to flex that funding immediately where needed. For example, hey, I got some volunteer fighters in let's say Kharkov, and they're out of tourniquets. We can get tourniquets for this price. Boom, push some tourniquets. Or we have, a woman and a child, which is a true story, who's Jewish, who's trapped south of Chernihiv. We can't get a bus, but if you pay this man like the X amount of dollars, he can get to that city and get that girl, that baby, and that woman out. So, or private security. Once the bus is stopped, then you can push per head, to get people and keep pushing and moving these assets to keep rescuing people. And I think it's very important that we just keep, even if you don't want to share to one, just push the information out there onto the network so everyone knows what's going on and knows. And it lets the Jews know that they're not forgotten. The ones in Ukraine and the isolated cities like Sumy, they're not forgotten. And there's people trying to fight for them because hope goes a long way. We
had a big Torah Tefillah Tzedakah gathering last night, and we had the Chabad rabbi from Sumy, Rabbi Levitansky. He's out now. He spoke to us.
Yeah, I'm trying to get his people out. I'm in contact with him.
Yeah, sure, unbelievable. Okay, Moshe Bassman, you want to say something? Unmute yourself and jump right in there.
12 months. It's Masha. So we have a question actually from Yossi Bassman, who's listening through us. His question is, in about 12 months or so, do we think that we're going to be able to have these people go back to their homes? Will everything be rebuilt, or basically, is that your question, Yossi?
There's no way to know that. We're praying for the best. There's been a lot of destruction. One thing to note is Russians' doctrine is when they start losing, they start destroying everything. So we can hope and pray and daven that it doesn't happen. But as of right now, there's unknowns. What I do ask is don't wait till it's too late. I know everyone's proud, they want to stay, but if you know the town's about to be overran, take that opportunity and go. And if you can't get out yourself, reach out for help.
Yeah.
It's the Gullus from the Gullus.
The Gullus from the Gullus, unbelievable. Okay, unless someone else has a question, we're going to let the officer go. We really appreciate your time. God bless you, keep you safe. God bless the work of your hands and getting the people out safely. And like you said, Yitzias Mitzrayim, Yitzias Ukraine, let's have a Yitzia from Gullus and have Mashiach. So God bless you. Thank you for spending some time with us. We really appreciate it. We know you're very busy, but thank you so much. Remind everybody, no class tomorrow night. Thursday night, we'll do Parsha. I'll send out the link information for the special program that's going on in the community. So from one Baruch to another Baruch, let's be blessed, and have only obvious and evident brachas. Thank you. Thank you. 1,000 thank you.
Sarge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night. And thank your wife. God bless her. Thank your wife.
Thank you, Shana.
Thank
God
you.
bless you both.
Thank you. Good night. Good night. That's love.